All right, I think we'll end on a philosophical note here. How do you propose to measure improvement in our community? Maybe at the end of 2 years, how you would see accomplishments you might have on council?
So metrics are interesting. I would see the involvement of the community in local organizations or in knowing what's going on around them and what's going on around downtown. So I would look at the difference between the number of emails and calls I get, the number of people communicating with me at the beginning of the year, as well as what those communications entail. I would probably take a sample at the beginning and a sample at the end and see how they change. Also on that note, I wanted to touch quickly on one thing I missed on the last question, that visiting with neighborhood associations around the district and with the allied NRT team, the neighborhood resource team, isn't something that I'm just doing during the campaign. That's something that I'm going to continue throughout so that I have an in-person feedback loop to be able to visit with those individuals. And for those who want to have a little bit more of a voice but don't necessarily want to serve on a committee, getting involved in those organizations. I would love to be able to communicate with those people and get feedback, as all of the organizations in our district that are active really run a very nicely democratic, they serve with bylaws. Anybody that wants to serve on them is more than welcome to. And so that would definitely be a resource that I would like to tap into.
So it's the last question, and I can't remember what it was. Sorry, my coffee's all worn off for the day.
How you would propose to measure improvement in our community?
Improvement. Improvement is one of those words as a resume writer that I really dislike because it's so not specific, not against anyone who wrote that question. It's just one of those things that I see as being kind of vague. So like what improvement means to me as a council, as a member of the Common Council, might mean that I have been able to get collaboration on one main issue that is really important to our district, because government doesn't always allow you to accomplish everything you want right away. So, you know, getting going and knowing that I'm representing everyone to the best of my ability and working with the people who I know can make a difference on the issues that are most important, and being able to listen well and be able to come back in 2 years and say, I think I did a good job because our streets are passable and we have accessibility to transportation, and hearing from other people that these things look like they're improving. I think getting that feedback is what it would look like to me, but it really would mean more if I knew that from everyone else's perspective it looked like things were safer. Are we talking about safety? Are we talking about equity? What areas are we wanting to see improvement? And that's what I want to know, is what are the most important things to you, and what it looks like to you in the 2 years in the future to see Madison. What would we want to see? What would your neighbors want to see?